Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and I'd like to welcome you back to Whips, Bits and Chat number 83. God, brain. Okay, so let's start today off as I start off every Sunday episode. It is our video roundup. So, of course, this week I'd managed to get out a few videos for you because I'd done a bit of pre-recording. So, and luckily I remembered to put the right dates on them. So they're all uploaded and all ready for you to go and have a see if you happen to have missed them. Right, the first one up was a book review. It was the stylish succulent. I can't say that word today, I really can't. It's a cactus. It's a book about cactuses. And the other one is The Little Gnomes. I will pop a link up here to the video for you. Our next one up was the King Cole Riot and DK yarn review. Okay, so that's my normal where I show you something I've made and then I do a little sample and then I undo it all. Well, not the thing I've made, but the sample. Okay, so you can see how easy it is to frog. Now, what I should say about that video was that yes, on the chain it did get caught. Now, I had used that section of yarn a couple of times, like a couple of times over, so it had started to slightly get catchy anyway. Okay, but normally after about 3 or 4 times we don't normally undo it a fifth, and I think that was the 5th time that little section was getting undone. Okay, so again the video will be, link will be up there for you. Then we had our good old Throwback Friday, so some of you had a good old giggle at some of the bits and pieces in there. And then on Saturday, meaning yesterday, which is out of sequence for me, I popped up the Breaking News Aldi UK because they had their craft event on and they sneaked that past me because I'll be honest, I wasn't keeping a lookout for it last week because I was too crazy with puppies. Okay, so I've managed to get that out to you, so hopefully some of you will be able to find some of the yarns in store and others will just go, no, forget it, most of it's online, so I'll grab it offline. Okay, so there is now a link in the description box that will take you through to exactly the same page I saw. Okay, so fingers crossed there's some yarn in there that you like. Now please remember, gang, if you are purchasing this yarn and you're planning to make things that you're going to sell, it may not be the best place for you, as this yarn, of course, you can't get all the appropriate paperwork for. Okay, so it means then the items that you make will not be UK CE checked. Sorry, I can't think of the technical name, the proper lettering, but the new CE mark. So of course that may affect where you are able to offload your product items that you make. So you wouldn't be able to sell them, but you'd be able to gift them. Simples. Unless it's to charity, and then they're not meant to accept it. Right, okay, so let's get on with the next bit. Right, so what have I been up to this week? Poppies, poppies and more poppies. This time though, I've not been crocheting them. I've been standing at my local Morrison's table, helping people choose what they would like to take home with them, whilst they pop their donation in the donation tin. Now, again, my local area has been absolutely amazing. The local people are so generous. I absolutely love it, and I love having a little chat with each of them. The bit I'm still missing this year is when I've got a couple of favourites that come and see me every year, and normally they'll grab their donation. I'll pop their poppy on because their hands might not work as well as others, and then I give them a big fat hug. Well, of course, there's no contact, I have to keep social distance, so we have been finding it, they have found it a little bit more difficult popping their poppies on, but they fully understand they're absolutely beautiful, and they've now got 2 hugs stored up for next year. So I have warned my governor that next year I'm going to need somebody to help me on the table, because I'm going to be at the end just administering hugs if I'm allowed to. If not, and we're still on safety measures, and then next year will be a case of it'll be 3 years of hug sale have stored up. It might sound strange, but some of the guys and girls that come to visit the table and will have a nice chat with me for a good 5 to 10 minutes because they haven't got anybody at home. And of course with lockdown as well, it's nice to be able to chat to somebody. And I must admit, I love it too. I love hearing their stories about how things were when they were younger, or whether they've served, whether they served in the army, or whether they were part of the land army, or their parents were, and things like that. So it's really nice learning all the history that goes along with it. I just wish I could record it all and write it all down for everybody, because I think in years to come that'll be the thing that's lost, or most lost, is the personal stories. So I do try and talk them into sort of recording a little video for their grandkids, and a couple have, so this is really good going. So hopefully in years to come that'll all get put together for the area, but I haven't got the time to do stuff like that. I'll just throw that idea out for somebody else to nick. So the poppy update. Of course, you know, I made the 1,000. Oh, there's a sign of 1,000 for this year that were all packaged and donated. Now we split them between my local stores and Cheltenham, because of course Cheltenham's a little bit more affluent than our area. Now Cheltenham didn't pick theirs up until the Thursday in the first week. Okay, so she had 480 go to Cheltenham. I don't quite know whether they've managed to rehome them all yet, but she has said that it's not a problem if she doesn't, because they've got a couple of charity events coming up where they're going to use them anyway, and they'll pop them on the table as well, so they will be gone by next year. But the ones for this year that were on my local tables, we'd split between 3 different tables and, what was it, 3? Yeah, 3 main tables and 3 local shops. And the ones on the tables had all been rehomed by Tuesday this week. So that's really good going, because they were out 10 days. So within 10 days they were all gone. So we were shifting quite a few, weren't we? Like 50 a day you were going out of the door, which is absolutely brilliant. And so I was jumping for joy until Wednesday came round, and the governor's standing outside the big glass window, and he's got a grin like a Cheshire cat on his face because he hadn't put his mask on yet. He had his big grin on his Cheshire face, and I've shouted out the door, "What are you grinning at, mister?" And from behind his back he pulls up a food bag, and in that food bag there's more of the crocheted poppies. More. And he's put his mask on and he's frog marched in, and he's gone, "Here, girl, I found some more." And I looked at him and I looked at the poppies, and I've gone, "You cheeky toe rag, they're from last year." Okay, so he's gone, yep, last year's ones. I'm like, right, okay, that's fine. I know what the yarn is. I know I've got the safety stuff at home, so that's fine. So they go on the table. There was about 20 of them. So, no, it wasn't. There was 6 of them, sorry. So they went on the table, and they all look pristine, and they all look nice and neat because they were all made with the same yarn. So I was happy that they were there. And so were the people that came past and bought them very quickly, because it was like, look, these are the only ones. We found them from their last year's stock, so that you know they're clear. And people are grabbing them up, grinning, and off they go. So Friday rolls around. Now Friday was my last collection day, okay, because I only do Monday to Fridays, but I'll do a 4-hour stint each day unless they give me time off for good behaviour. Well, he walks in on Friday. He very sheepishly looks at me, but he has the twinkle in his eye. You know, that cantankerous twinkle that some people get when you know they're being naughty and they're trying to cover it. And I just looked at him and I went, "What are you doing?" He's gone, "Found some more." Plonked them on the table. I'm like, no, they're the year ones. Okay, so he'd found 20 year ones in the back of the cupboard. Right, because he'd had to have all the stock at his house over the last year, because our local branch of the Royal British Legion have had to leave their premises, and we're in the process of finding something new. But until lockdowns are completely over and done with, it's not really worth paying rent on a property that's just going to sit redundant basically and be used as storage. So they're working on a new place at the moment, so hopefully we'll be able to get in there and pull the stock in there instead. So that's anything that's left over from this year that can be put back on the table next year, which would have been the poppies. Right, so I've got these 20 poppies sitting there. The leaves are all different colours, the poppy fronts are all different shades of red. I think one was even nearly orange, it was like a reddy orange, and they were all different sizes, and they looked a mess for me and my OCD. Everything has to be neat and everything has to look the same, which has basically been made worse by the poppies. Right, and the reason for this was, in the very first year I made it, I put a shout out on Facebook asking for donated wool. And now this is before I knew anything about different sizes of wool, the fact that even if it's a DK weight yarn, it will be it could be a different thickness, a slightly different thickness, due to the manufacturer of that yarn. And I didn't really understand that you could change your hook size at the beginning to make things a different size if you needed to, and all this sort of stuff, right? And of course I only had a 3.5mm back then and a 3. So I had all of this beautiful yarn donated to me, but it was all different sizes. I had some Aran come through the door, I had some a lot of DK luckily, and then I had some sock yarn, and then I had some yarn that goes into a sewing machine and it was on a spindle, and that was probably no more than a 2-ply. It was just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So that first year making those poppies with all those different types of yarn, I didn't know what they were either because there were no labels. It was just people's odd balls and end of project balls. So I didn't know what it was, I didn't know what thickness it was, I didn't know what make it was. All I know was that it was nearly red or red. So I'd made all these poppies up and I'd been swapping. I'd make one, and if it wasn't quite the same size, I'd let it slide, but if it was massively too big, it would get stripped back down and I'd make it with the smaller hook, or if it was too small, I'd strip it down and make it with the bigger hook, and then I would use that hook for the rest of that ball, and then the next ball that would come out of the bag, I would have to do the same experiment again to see which one looked the neatest or the same size as the other ones. Now, because of course I also had to try and get them in these little stupid plastic bags as well. Right. So the ones that from the year 1 that were left were the ones that I'd squeezed into the bag, and so like the edges are rolled up and it's just like it will fit, go in. So they weren't exactly the neatest looking or the most loved looking. They were just squidge it in and hope for the best. Well, I did 4 hours collecting on Friday, and when I left I think I'd sold about 3 or 4 of them. Now I was trying my hardest and not to give the look of distaste, I think is the right phrase. Basically I didn't like the look of them, and I was trying not to pull this face above the mask because it could still be understood, couldn't it? So I don't like them, right? So I managed to rehome 3, and thankfully I had a message from the chap that took over, and then the lass that took over after him saying, Ange, they're all gone, you're not getting any back. Because I've said I don't want them ones back. It sounds horrible, but you can actually bin them ones, because for me I can't do a burn test or anything with them because I don't know the yarn. And of course now with the new CE marks that are coming in, I have to make sure that if my name is attached to it, I've got a file with what yarn it is, its burn rate, it's this, it's that, it's the other. So if I go on next year and make more next year, I can get away with, I think, around just shy of 200. But if I go above that, I'm classed as a producer, and then that means I have to do all of the burn tests and all of the rest of the tests to ensure that it fits health and safety. So I have got an idea for next year so that we can still get the 1,000 made. It just won't all be me. I'm going to try and collar some of you girls from the UK into helping me out. I'm an evil witch, aren't I? Right, okay, but let's get off the poppies. I've been banging on about it for 8 minutes. By the way, so generous. The people in my local area, so generous. I beat last year's, well, I'm not going to count last year's because we only did 6 days, but I've beaten the year before's target by more than 50p. I don't know the full amount yet, I just know it's more than 50p because my governor said. Right, what's up next? So for those of you that didn't make it to the live this Tuesday evening, you may have spotted the video, and it's got a picture of Liam and a new friend sitting out on the decking, and the title of it is called "I Find Roma a New Home." Now, Roma is a little Romy dog that has been brought over, of course, from Romania. Now, my best mate Emma, she is a foster mum to Roma at the moment, and so I thought, well, do you know what, you never know, it might be a nice idea to give her a little bit of a shout out, in the hopes that one of my gorgeous crazies is actually looking for a new dog to love. And now, me and Liam were really lucky to meet Roma last weekend. She came over and she came and stayed with us for 24 hours, along with, of course, Emma, hubby, and one of their lads. And the reason they did that was, one, so that we could say hello and see each other, because we haven't seen each other for such an age, not properly anyway. And 2 was to meet Roma. She was really hoping that I would fall in love with her even more, that Liam would get on with her and be thick as thieves, and that I would agree to adopt her. But the problem is, I don't have the energy to walk 2 dogs at this moment in time, so it wouldn't be fair for me to take Roma on, which is a shame, because Liam and her became thick as thieves. They don't get me wrong, when they first met there was a little bit of a not power struggle as such, but there was a little bit of unease, because Roma, bless her, her backstory isn't the best, and she didn't know really how to be a dog and how to dog properly. She's perfectly fine with humans, absolutely loves humans, but dogs she was unsure of. And so although she's staying with another female dog, that's a stroppy one, who's a right proper princess and doesn't want to help. So we introduced them. They had one moment where they were a bit stroppy with each other. Liam put Roma in her place, and then started showing her all the different, like, ducking downs and all the different dog language, so that she knew whether he wanted to play or not. And within about an hour, the 2 of them were running. We had to have the patio doors open. It was flipping freezing. I had to have the patio doors open, because all of a sudden you'd see Roma zoom out through the lounge into the garden. She'd bounce down and say to Liam, right, come on, play. He would then zoom out as well, and they'd be zooming through the house, backwards and forwards into the garden. And he chucked a ball at her, and they were playing ball. And then when we introduced the ball to see how she would go and whether she would guard or whatnot, and she didn't. He grabbed the ball, he chucked it at her, she would bring it back to us. He was being a right lazy git. Like, he will play fetch, but he doesn't like bringing the ball back all the way. He'll bring it so far and then dump it and hope it rolls. And so that's what he was doing then. She would grab the ball and actually bring it back to us and hand it to us. So she was getting all the fussies, and he's like, that's so unfair. But the pair of them worked really well as a team, and they had loads of fun. Yes, they did do some roughhousing, but they were equally matched. They're both the same size, and if anything, Liam is a little bit speedier on his legs. So he could, if she got too much, he would bat her on the nose with his paw, tell her off. She'd go quiet for a few minutes, come back, give him a kiss, and then they'd play again. So it was a really beautiful interaction. Now, we did have to separate them when the fireworks kicked off, because that's when Liam gets the most nervous. So he went upstairs and chilled out on the bed upstairs listening to classical FM, while Roma was downstairs with us, chilling out in one of his beds watching a film. So she was pretty good with the fireworks actually. They didn't really freak her out, which was beautiful. So they stayed overnight and then headed back Sunday. So yes, I've had a grumpy Liam who's not happy because his friend had to go home, which is normal for him when any friend comes round to play. And the update now is that there is somebody interested in Roma. They have completed the paperwork, or nearly all of the paperwork, so we're just waiting for the home checks to be completed, and she may have a new home by next week. I'm keeping everything crossed for her. Yes, it's going to be a right tug on the heartstrings for Em, but of course Em knows that she's going to a good home because Em's choosing it. Right, so as I said, I will keep you updated next week to tell you whether Roma went to this lady or whether she has gone to a different home, or if we need to push it a little bit more and get some more interest for her. But if Roma is not the right size or fit for your family, the charity that Emma is working alongside do have some other absolutely gorgeous dogs that are in need of a new home, a forever home, and a new sofa for Christmas. So I will put a link in the description box and down below. Okay, so if you are in the UK and, as I said, you're looking to rehome a gorgeous dog, and you understand that they may have a couple of extra quirks like my Liam does, then pop over to the Facebook page where you'll be able to scoot down and see which ones are in need of a new home at the moment, and also which new puppies will be coming over in a future transport, which is where you can basically say, oh, can I have that one? I think that one will suit us. Okay, so as I said, link will be in the description box down below. One little extra thing I will add is keep an eye out if you're in the UK, because if Emma chooses to foster another puppy, it may be a case that she the next puppy gets to come and play with Liam as well. So then you will see some more gorgeous pictures of another gorgeous puppy that's in need of a new sofa for Christmas. Now for some crochet related news, because of course that's what this channel's meant to be about. Right, okay, so a couple of weeks ago, of course, I popped out a new tutorial for you, which was hashtag number 19, and it was, of course, the Biddy baby blanket. Okay, so here it is, the Biddy baby blanket. It's a lot longer and a lot wider, but you can see the pattern. Okay, so that is the Biddy baby blanket. Now, this coming week, there is another new tutorial coming out for you, and it is my very first baby hat. Okay, so I'm quite excited. Now this is the Biddy baby hat, so of course it matches in because we're using the same stitches here, which are the little kisses. It matches in quite nicely with the Biddy baby blanket, and it would match really well if you use the same yarn. Yeah, I didn't. I'd run out because this is meant to be a dragon, the rest of this. And yeah, I'm still waiting to see if I can find some yarn to make the legs. Right, so of course that is the Biddy baby blanket, and that is hashtag number 19, and the Biddy baby hat will be hashtag number 20. And now of course with the blanket I used the Cascade yarn in a pinwheel, and for the hat I have used the King Cole Riot. Okay, so this is what some of the cake looked like made up in the Biddy baby hat, and this is the one that you will see getting made on the tutorial. Now in the tutorial I did have a bit of a happy sniggery moment when I was making the top section, because to me it looked a little bit rude. Okay, it looks a lot more rude when I'm making it, because I was sitting there thinking, well, I don't have to add a pom-pom to this one. I could sell this one as a cute little hat for a breastfed baby. So you get where I'm thinking why it looked rude. Okay, but as I said, the pattern links will be down below for the blanket, and once this pattern goes live, if you're watching this later on in the week, it will be in the description box down below as well. Now I've also created another baby blanket and hat pattern combo, but they won't be out for a good couple of weeks because I haven't recorded them yet. So I'm not going to show you them yet, but that is one that you might have been able to sneak a partial peek at during the King Cole Riot video that I put out this week. Oh, brain is starting to shut down. This isn't good. But yeah, you'll see part of that blanket in this video because I used it in the background, and you might be able to catch a little glimpse of the hat as well. So yeah, at this moment in time this week I've made 4 baby hats and 1 baby blanket. I've made a Christmas item, but I'm not going to be showing you that until December. I'm trying to make a batch of different Christmas items so that I can run the 12 days of Christmas again like I did last year. So in the 12 days of Christmas, this one will be, you'll be reminded of this one because, hey, it is a Christmas pattern. And some of the other Christmas patterns, of course, that I put out last year. So if you wanted to get a jump start on those, of course, the penguin is hashtag number 10. There is also the no paper chain, which I think is hashtag 11. And then you have the my Christmas present to you, which are what have we gone? Snowman, Santa, and gingerbread man, little gift card holders. And then the next video out, which was 12A, shows you how to turn those Christmas card holders into little stuffies for your dining table. Okay, so those are the Christmas patterns from last year that I made up for you that you could possibly make this year round. And then send me pictures so I can show them off. If you can get to it before the 1st of December, even better, because I might be able to sneak them into the 12 days of Christmas videos. That'd be so cool. But of course, if you're on a limited time and you want to have a go at some of this year's Christmas patterns that I will be putting out, of course, we have got, I've spoken about them a few times, the Santa, the Naughty Santa, and the Naughty Fairy wine box holders. Now remember, they don't have to be used for wine boxes. You can just technically use them to hold your yarn in or other items on the Christmas table. And you don't have to add the slit there. Okay, now the patterns for those are available on the Ravelry store at the moment for you to purchase. The tutorials you will have access to early if you purchase the pattern. Okay, otherwise you're gonna have to wait till the 12 days of Christmas to get your hands on the free tutorial. Right, let me think. Scott, is there anything else? You girls are so lucky. My brain decided to kick back in. So I remembered I've got some drawers to do. Now this is from not this week, but the week before's live videos. Okay, so I asked on the last chance video a little question. And the question was, of course, for a Vault Pass, the question was, can you name the actor or character whose sci-fi mask was used to create the Michael Myers mask in the 1978 film Halloween? Now, I didn't think this was a well-known fact. I really didn't. But it appears quite a few of you, well, yeah, quite a few of you actually did know this. Okay, now, I will give you a little bit of info on what I had found. Now, the answer was Captain Kirk or William Shatner. Now, the creator who had done the mask had actually removed the eyebrows and sideburns of Captain Kirk. Okay, he had widened the eye holes and then he dyed the hair black that was left and lightened the skin tone to a white. He sprayed it with white spray paint. And of course, as I said, it was William Shatner or Captain Kirk. So let's pop over now to the random comment picker, see how many of you actually got it correct and see who won the pattern. Right, so here we go. I've entered the URL. Now, I've got 2 people on there that didn't actually answer the question. Fingers crossed your names don't come in. And the other people I've added in here to give you a little bit of an extra go. So hopefully it will give us the right amount of comments, which it has. It's saying 6 + 4. So good luck, everybody. Here we go. Ninja, you've gone and done it, girl. Congratulations. You have got yourself, I believe, a vault pass. So congratulations, and please remember to fire me off that email. Right, so now it is time for our next pattern grab. Now this one is for November pattern grab shout out, so it's your very first one. So it is your chance to get your hands on a vault pass. Now that is for the corner to corner patterns that I offer on the channel, and not any of the patterns that are on the Ravelry shop. Okay, I've thought I'd best say that to help with any confusion. So let's grab our shareable link. Jump over to our YouTube random comment picker, pop it in, remove duplicate users. Now there was no added words or anything today. Now we have got 6 entrants, so good luck everybody. Mrs. Bradshaw's gone and done it. She says, per usual, I missed your live and wouldn't have known any of the answers, but I can listen to the replay and help you with your watch hours. Thank you ever so much, gorgeous. And guess what? You've gone and got yourself another pattern. Right, let's just bring you right up there. Now I'm going to add both of these girls' comments at the end of this video, or in a few moments. What I do ask is if the pair of you, I'll do this bit in a second. Right, so once again, congratulations to our Gurumi Ninja, and congratulations to our Mrs. Bradshaw. Both, if you girls could both fire me off an email, and of course put a comment in the comment section down below, ideally before you send me the email. That would be brilliant, because then I will send you over a list of the patterns for you to choose from, which will have a code in a different colour at the end of each of them. That way you can pop that code into your first comment that you'd put on this video, and I will see it and be able to fire you over your winning patterns. So congratulations, girls. Yay! Now you've got 7 days to claim your prize, but the sooner you get it done, the sooner you can start on them. Breaking news, and all the squeaking in the background is Liam celebrating the fact that that gorgeous little puppy has now got her forever home. She will be going to move in with them next weekend. How super cool is that? So keep an eye out. There may be a new puppy coming on the scene soon for you guys to ooh and ah over, and hopefully, if you're in the UK, a rehome. So congratulations, and congratulations, Roma. You have got your new sofa just in time for Christmas. Right, I think I've talked your ear off enough today, haven't I? So that is it for me for today. I'm going to head off and start crocheting some more things. So I will see you all really, really soon. Don't forget, there will be lives on a Tuesday evening and on Wednesday during the day. So keep an eye out for the little reminder so that you can sit there and click it, and then it will bounce up and tell you that we're going to go live. Alright, so I will see you all really, really soon. If you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody.